What's up, everybody? This is Cool Dude, and welcome to another cool review. And today we're going to be reviewing the timeless, absolutely amazing Spielberg classic, Jaws. The terrifying film about Amityville Beach horror of a giant shark roaming the seas, killing people. A movie that tells you it's not safe to go into the water. I've been wanting to review this for a long time, mostly because I haven't seen it before, but I recently saw it a few weeks ago, and I am going to be sharing you my thoughts on the movie as a whole. And as always, smash that notification bell right now, give it a big ol' shark chomp, pretty much like almost swallow it whole, but don't swallow it whole, because then you're going to have a suffocation problem. But with that said, let's get on with the review of Steven Spielberg's Jaws. So Jaws is basically, starts off with a shark attack, of course, with Jaws. You know, fun fact before we begin, Jaws was never the name of the shark. Jaws is just the name of the movie, but I think it's funny how the shark's name has become Jaws over the years. I think that's pretty cool, because it was never meant to be that way, but kind of, you know, the audience and everybody else made it that way, so that's cool. So I'll just call it Jaws because of it. So, Jaws, you know, attacks, a nude woman on the beach, which is the famous, you know, poster for the movie, which is iconic by far, one of the most iconic posters in the whole world. And Roy Scheider, who plays the town's sheriff there, is like, okay, this is definitely a shark attack. But everyone's like, no, we can't have it be a shark attack because we want people to come back. And if we tell them it's a shark attack, there's not going to be anything. And of course, we meet the mayor, who's like the absolute stupidest character ever because he doesn't, you know, he doesn't know anything what he's doing. So then, while he's on lifeguard duty, the shark attacks again, and the town decides, you know what, we've had enough of this. We're going to hold a competition to see who can catch this shark. And Roy Scheider meets up with this other scientist guy who studies sharks. And he also meets Quint, who is this crazy old sea captain who is keen on killing this demon in the water, as he calls it, a shark. And the rest of the movie is basically them trying to find the shark and to kill it. And that's basically the whole movie, without giving away too many spoilers, because this movie is absolutely awesome. I will say, like, there are a few flaws for sure, because no movie is flawless in my opinion, that's for sure. Like, every movie has at least one flaw, minor or major. But this movie has held up really, really well. It's another one of those Jurassic Park cases that this movie is going to be holding up well for a very, very, very long time. And I highly recommend it for all you guys. But let's get on with the high positives that Jaws has to offer. Jaws, the animatronic itself, which they called Bruce on the set of Jaws, it kind of looks fake towards the end. Like, the more you see him, it does look kind of like a Five Nights at Freddy's type of thing, animatronic. But it looks, I still think it holds up relatively well. I mean, it looks like a shark, and if you want to talk about bad shark effects, just watch Jaws 3D or Jaws: The Revenge, because goddamn, that looks fake. But yeah, the shark looks decent enough, I think. It does look fake at a few points, but it still looks good. The actors are really good. I love Roy Scheider in this movie. He's cool. He's nice. Quint, he's just crazy and crazy, but you can, like, tell that he's a man of good intentions. The scientist I actually really liked, and I was afraid he was gonna die by the end, which I won't give away spoilers if he does or doesn't, but I didn't want him to die. Let's just say that. And the suspense in this movie, like, that has to be one of the best part of the movie. The suspense is absolutely amazing and on point. It will make you, like, feel on edge for a lot of the movie. The suspense is very high. You never know when the shark's gonna come up, and they'll always do, like, these spastic camera shots. Like, they'll go from one shot, and then they'll cut to the other shot, and then they'll cut from one shot, they'll go to the other shot, they'll cut to several different shots at once. It'll make you feel like it's all spastic, like you don't know what's gonna happen next, where the shark's gonna attack, or, you know, what's gonna happen at any given point. It leaves you on edge like that throughout the entire movie, and I love that about the suspense. And it also has really good tension building, like I said, which kind of goes with suspense, but tension building, I think, is more what leads up to the suspense. Tension building is like when everything starts to rise, when you know the shark's out there, and you know, like, all this is gonna happen, but you just don't know when. So it builds up your tension, when, you know, because it has, like, several people going into the ocean, the pool, it has several people going in, it has a dog going in, and it's like, which of these people is the shark going to attack? Which of these people are going to die first, you know? And that's what makes Jaws a really good movie, the suspense. And it is mostly carried out through the soundtrack, which is another huge plus for this movie. The soundtrack, the music is absolutely great. That iconic ding 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 theme of Jaws is still very effective, and it's really cool. And it made me really happy to finally hear it in the movie, because I've heard it a lot, before the movies, before seeing it. And I'm finally happy to hear it in the movie, so that is really good. And another thing, this movie is really slow. Like a lot of people have said, it takes a long time before you actually see the shark. It builds up the appearance. But I think it's really good, actually. I was really afraid it was going to be too boring for me. It was going to be too slow. But watching it, I'm like, this is really cool. I love this suspense building and tension building. And it has enough good characters and enough, subtle moments of horror here and there with the shark just killing people at random, that I think it was enough to build my tension to the point where it didn't get too boring. And it was enough to get me like, oh, they need to hunt down this shark, but what's it gonna do? What's gonna happen? So that's another example of great tension building and suspense throughout the entire film. And it looms over the entire picture. So I think that is also a really effective way of kind of building up the shark's appearance. So I do like that. Love it or hate it, but I love it. I love the fact that they build up the shark's appearance. It's really, it pays off greatly in the movie. And, yeah, the set design looks really good. I mean, Amityville Beach looks like the kind of beach that I would want to go to. It looks really nice. Love the old school feel of everything. Because this is back in the, I think, this movie was made in the 80s, so, this definitely has that old school movie feel, so that's really cool, and really, that's all the positives I could say. This movie is really good. This movie is solid film, and I absolutely recommend it. If you're a Spielberg fan or not, hell, if you are a Spielberg fan, I recommend it even more, because this is one of Steven Spielberg's best movies ever. Not as a huge success as Jurassic Park, in terms of budget and, profits and everything, but it is still... Jaws is a very good movie, very nice, and I really recommend it for all of you, and especially those who appreciate good suspense and tension building in a film of any sort, horror or otherwise. With that said, let's go on to the very few negatives that this movie has in it. So let's dive in. See what I did there? Dive in, Jaws. Funny. With that corny and cheesy joke out of the way, that probably cost me 3 subscribers. Let's get on with the negatives. Again, the shark can look fake at certain points, but that's really a nitpick, because, animatronics and whatnot. I still appreciate the practical effect, but it still does look fake at a few points. There are certain, scenes with certain characters, like with the sheriff talking to, some of the people, that I really think could have been cut out. I appreciate, that they're trying to build suspense and they're trying to drag out some scenes with these conversations, but some of them are really not needed, and some of them are just weird side comments, so I feel like they could have been cut out from the film at those points, but again, just a nitpick. They don't really affect anything too much, but I need to point out the negatives, because every film has a little bit of negatives. Some of the characters are a little one-noted. Like, Quint is really, it's just a one-note, grizzled old sea captain that's just, has a grudge against the shark, and that's really it. The mayor is very, the businessman and the economy person, and some of the people that Roy Scheider talks to or interacts with are pretty one-note in terms of their character, but that really is, they do their one-note characters fine, some of them in Quint, so they may be one note, but most of them are handled pretty well, and most of them are given decent motivations to support their actions for being one note. And another problem that this movie has is the fact that there's not a lot of action, but that's really a nitpick for me. Not to say that there isn't action. There's a lot of action, especially in the third act, but because it wants to do suspense and tension building, there's really not a lot of action. There's a lot of talking, but I think that's really a nitpick, because for me, it doesn't really bother me too much, because the movie itself holds up really well as it is a suspenseful and tension-filled film. So overall, Jaws, I give it a 5 out of 5 shark fins for this movie. I really love this movie. It's a great Spielberg film, great suspense film, great tension building, and an excellent example of how to do a shark movie. And, who would have known that this would have given rise to so many bad Jaws sequels, and also a lot of ridiculous shark movies? Good God, how many shark movies are there? And with that, I think I'm gonna wrap up this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. Leave a like for this video, and I really liked reviewing this movie, because I've always wanted to see it. Now I've seen it, and I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. And yeah, that's about it, guys. So, Until next time, stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, y'all. And watch out for sharks.